shooters, loaders, and casters, welcome to JH586. I'm Jamie. It's been a minute. I was just reviewing our 308 video, and that was in July. It's past time to get back on some 308 kind of stuff, so let's get up to the bench and see what we can figure out. Okay, we've acquired quite a bit of brass, and you see I've got it in, and I'm working with something hopefully that I can see on the bench. I've got my little sheets in there and tells me where I'm at with each particular piece I've set. I've separated them by headstand. These have been cleaned, deprimed, annealed, resized. We've removed the lube and we've swaged the primer pocket. So these are pretty much ready. They got to be trimmed and they got to be chamfered and primed. So let's talk about. This is a great point right here. You've got well, these over here. You've got them cleaned, and that's the time I like to anneal them. I like to anneal before I size them. And we've got some footage that we'll roll in right here about that. All right, let's see if we can get this done. We just want to turn our torch on. I use a drill with an extension and a socket, and I just put it in there and count to 7. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007. And I'm not waiting for it to get that cherry red color. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007. One, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007. And CW will do this and hold it in his hand like that. Just turn it back and forth. And that helps him feel when, yeah, that's a pretty good method. You can get it all the way around there. Because when you start feeling the heat at the bottom, that's when it's done. All right, so let me get these done. I'll come back. Okay, here we go. When you get your die set, it's going to open up and look like this. And what you get in a typical die set is you get a full-length size decapping die. And it'll have your decapping pin. And we showed this earlier about on the other video, taking them apart and cleaning them. And you'll have your expander ball and your decapping pin. Now your other die is your seating die, and it also has a crimp feature in there that we'll try to explain that when we get there. Okay, so you see this. This is the AR series reloading dies. So we're loading for a bolt action. So rather than use this sizing die, I found an old C&H die, and these are very good dies. No telling how old this is. You can see I cleaned it up real good. So for our purposes, we want to size the brass, and we want to bump our shoulders back by about 0.02 of an inch right here. That way we're having the least amount of expansion during the firing process as possible, and still ensuring a good fit to our chamber. Now these right here pieces of brass, these were all fired in the rifle that we're going to be using. Can y'all even see that? You can't see that. So these right here are the ones that were shot in the rifle, and we're keeping those separate. We probably won't use those at least for a while till we get them, get our references. And so right here I have just a cheap Harbor Freight caliper. It's electronic, and the reason that this is set up just for this purpose. And you also see I have my Hornady comparator tool attached. Now this anvil right here comes separate, and you won't have to buy that if you don't need to, but for reloading precision long rifle, you need a tool similar to this, but this is about as cheap as they get with the Hornady. I mean, you can spend a whole lot of money on a tool that's very similar to this, and it'll probably work a lot better. But we want to make sure our caliper is zeroed, so let's just hit that 0, and let's measure some of these pieces of brass that have been fired in our gun. And what we're measuring here is we're measuring cartridge base to the datum line of the shoulder, and that's going to be, and for 308 we're going to use the comparator D, which is 4/100, 4/10 of an inch, 0.400, whatever. So we're measuring from that thickness to the base of the cartridge, and fired cases are running, I hope y'all can see that, 1.621 for that one, and then you just measure all of these. This one is 1.6225. So you got a 1,000th difference in those two. All right, here's one that's even shorter, 1.620 with a 5. So what I've done is I've measured all of these, and I have started us a notebook, and I've written all of those down. That's going to put you at 1.6195 or 1.619. Okay, so if you've got your die set and this is all you have and you don't have this other stuff, don't worry about it. Just use the stuff and be happy. But like I said, we've got this C&H die, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the innards out of it, and I'll explain to you why in just a minute. We're going to size the outside of the case with this die, and then we're going to size our neck, this is the neck, with another die, and there's other options of how you can go about doing that. One of the cheaper ways, this is the Lee expander die, universal expander die, and you can take this apart and take the insides out of it, and they come with these two pieces right. And this right here is an NOE expander, but you see that's kind of short right there. So this part right here is 310, this part down here is 306, and so you would just put, and you see that slides in there and fits tight, and then you can put this one in there and you have plenty of adjustment, and you can use that, or what we have and what we're going to use is the Wilson expanded mandrel sizing die, and this is ultra nice. You see, you can get different size mandrels with this as well, and that's what we're going to use right here, and this is what we'll be using on this brass. All right, we got the insides taken out of our die, and we have our #2 shell holder right there. This is what we're going to do. We're going to raise our ram, we're going to turn it till it touches, and then we're going to back it out one complete turn, half, one. Okay. All right, these are some cases that we're going to, out of our cull bag, and the reason they're culls to me is Yeah, see that big dent right there? These are what we're going to use to set up our die, and see all of them are like that. And they may be fine. I'm not willing to take that chance. So we're going to use these just to set up our die, and we've cleaned these on the outside. Now the size brass, you need to lubricate your brass. And what I'm using today is the Hornady One Shot. This stuff. A lot of us also like to make up our own case lube with lanolin and alcohol, which works real good. What you do is you throw your brass in a bag and then give it a couple of spritz with this, shake it up, pour it out and let it dry. This stuff from Lee, this is excellent. It works really good. And this is also excellent. Hornady Unique, and you can get the product from Ready, Imperial, and it's a little bit better and significantly more expensive. And what we're going for is uniformity, and we're going for that 2,000 shoulder bump. All right, so what we're going to see first is our case is going to actually grow. Excuse me, 1.624 with the 5. So it's going to grow to begin with. So then we're going to turn this in just a little bit. See where we're at. .625, it actually grew a little bit more. Sneak up on it. Don't go too fast, too far, too fast, too quick. 1.24 with a 5. And once you start getting close, you got to go in real little bitty small increments, because you don't want to go past what you're aiming for. All right, so we still got a ways to go. Still the same. We're not getting any movement here. But when it goes fast. And CW's got a video on this that y'all should really check out. He probably does a much better job than I do. And we're still right there at 1.626. Okay, we're getting somewhere. 1.623 with a 5. .620 with a 5. Right there we are. 1.619. We've reached our target. So with that, let's tighten this screw right here. All right, let's take one of these other pieces that just to check our work, see where we're at. .619. All right, I think we're good. And once you get there, all you need to do is just lube them up and run them through there. And check them every once in a while just to make sure your dye is not moving. But if you got it on there good, you have it on there good. All right, I think that's going to do it for this video, and we'll end it there and encourage y'all to come check us out on the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday nights at 8 o'clock. Maybe I should start putting a link down there. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. We hope the Lord blesses y'all real good. Till next time, we'll see you. Bye.